Hi, this is Ganesh Kumar from AR Pro Academy. Today we are going to discuss first time sales manager. A lot of people, salespeople who are good in sales, get promoted to the position of sales manager. What happens then? The other day, I was conducting a training program for one of the new dealerships in my hometown. The team comprised of sales consultants, sales executives, team leaders, assistant sales manager, sales manager. It was a heterogeneous mixture of salespeople. I always believed that sales is a very noble profession because as salespeople, we help people. So, during this meeting, I was talking about first-time sales managers. I am not talking about the roles and responsibilities of a sales manager in an ideal car dealership. A first-time sales manager, that means a sales consultant or a sales executive who got promoted because of his performance as an excellent salesperson. What is the difference, or how should he behave once he becomes a sales manager? So when we started discussing, the sales manager, he put up a sad face and he spoke in the meeting. I wish somebody had told me all these things when I started my career. Well, it's never too late. So we'll discuss how a first-time sales manager, culturally, how he should take forward his team. As a salesperson, he was an independent individual contributor. That means he was looking after only his performance. And maybe sometimes some of them team players will help others also. So that used to be a salesperson. And then suddenly he becomes a team leader or sometimes designated as a sales manager. In fact, I would always call them a leader. When does one become a leader? As earlier I said, as a salesperson, you are an individual contributor. So when you become a leader, when does one become a leader? You forget about yourself and then start thinking about others, about your team. That is when you become a leader. There are many organizations, including car dealerships, who give the quota, sales quota, that is separate target for the sales manager. And then he also is responsible for the targets of his team. So in such a situation, can we call them a leader? Because initially he'll be taking care of how to complete his target, then only he'll be working for his team. Actually, the target of his team, that means all the people in his team will make his target. So I asked the new sales manager, how are you doing? He said, I'm surviving somehow. It should not be surviving. In fact, the paradigm shift, that is from survive to thrive. So what happens? In fact, most of the sales managers have no control of more than 80% of the metrics they are responsible. 2/3 of the salespeople miss their target. More than 40% of the salespeople cannot understand the customer pain or problem during when they are along with the customer in their buyer journey. Half of them do not follow any kind of sales process. They do not know what is a sales pipeline or how to lead a customer through the sales funnel. So all the above affect the sales manager in their sales forecast. During the training program, in fact, one of them shared a story also, a sales manager. In fact, what happened was, during the review meeting, keeping the Excel sheet in front, they asked all the team members about the numbers which they are likely to close the month. They say 3, 4, 5. So the sales manager asked one of the team members, "You will do 5 numbers?" So he just lifted his thumb and said, "Yes." So every week when the sales meeting goes on, he will always say, "Yes," he does like this. At the end of the month, when the month closed, this particular sales consultant, he did only 1. So the sales manager asked him, "Yeah, you promised, or you committed 5. So the salesperson, in a shocked expression, he said, "When did I commit 5? I always did like this." So it may be a joke among the salespeople, but more than a joke, it's a fact. So first things first, a sales manager is primarily responsible for coaching his team. Whatever he has learned or whatever he has undergone during his tenure as a sales consultant, all this will help him. So team building by coaching is the primary responsibility. Then onboarding. When the new recruits are taken in, most of the dealerships have a system where they just train them or teach them the features of the car, and then within a week they are sent out into the market, said go to the market and sell. This used to be the situation. A real onboarding should be at least for a month, where the sales consultant acquires a business acumen by understanding the entire business of the dealership. So I asked this question during the training program. What do we do in a dealership? They said, "We sell cars and service them. That's all." So I asked them to look at it in a different angle. See, we are primarily solving a problem for a customer. So then what do we do? So in the new context, they came out with the reply. We sell solutions for mobility problems of the customers. That is why we are called as sales consultants. People come to us to consult and then get advice as to which is the best product to solve their problem, or the best car for their problem. So this is the kind of coaching the sales manager is supposed to give to his team. And then taking them through a buyer's pain, and then that enthusiasm which he had, that should be transferred. Then only they get inspired, okay, and then he becomes a role model for them. So how does he do all these things? One is from what he has learned during his time, reading books, and then asking questions to them. He need not be a chief problem solver for the sales team. Most of the time, I've seen in review meetings, the sales manager may be out of desperation or maybe because of pressure from higher up, he just starts screaming, shouting at the people, and many a time he loses confidence. Even the team loses confidence, and then people leave. That is one reason why in a very high turnover in dealerships. So instead of asking, okay, a sales consultant who has not done his target for 2 months, the third month the dialogue goes like this: last 2 months you have not done the target, this is your last chance. This month also, if you don't do your target, you are out. I can't help it. So many times the sales consultant, they don't even wait for the third month. He leaves then and there. The next morning, you may not find the sales consultant. So how should the communication go? An ideal sales manager or a leader should talk to the sales consultant. Instead of you or me or I, he should be talking like this. Last 2 months, we have not met our quota. So this month, we want you, or we have to do the quota, and what support you want. And let us discuss in detail all your sales pipeline, where you are stuck. So this is the kind of communication that should go from the sales manager. And then that's the reason I always say 70% of the time the sales manager should spend in coaching the team. There is a small model which I suggest team leaders can adopt. That model is called GROW, G-R-O-W. So G, as most of you will know, G is for goal setting. Many of the team members are not aware of what is the kind of goal setting. They always link the goal with the target or the number of vehicles they have to do. That's it. So goal means there are many things which is attached to it in the goal. How to handle a customer, how to talk to a customer, many things are there. So the sales manager should be sitting with the consultant and then talking to him about what is his goal. One is a short-term goal, immediate, and a long-term goal. That means every quarter they should be meeting the target. And in the industry, it's a curse that most of the things happen only during the last 4 or 5 days of the month. This should be changed from that they do their targets week after week, so that from day one they should be focusing on the target. And focus also means laser focus on the target. So that is the kind of coaching he should be imparting to his team. Second is reality. Do they know and do they recognize, okay, what is the current situation? If that is, we are here now, and then where we should be moving. So that reality from current situation, it should be drilled into their head. Okay, we are here now, and then we have to move forward. So next is O, that is options, opportunities. So what are the resources available? Many of the resources are not utilized properly. The digital marketing which is available now, which most of the people are using, creating blog, videos. So all these options may not be, the sales consultant may not be aware. So he has to educate the team about all these options and opportunities. With all the three, now the last is the way forward. That means you wrap up the complete discussion, getting the consultants into the fold. Okay, we are in agreement, and then we go forward in a pre-arranged or discussed manner. Don't you think this kind of a system, the GROW model, will work when a sales manager or a newly appointed sales manager is going through this kind of a systematic manner? So, as I said, it is never too late. So, never complain saying that I wish somebody had told me all these things. Here we are, we have told you, and for more of such tips, please log in, please subscribe, and log in to AirPro Academy. Thank you.